Hello. Sorry for this horrible angle, but I'm getting ready to go adjudicate today and my tripod is broken. So, yeah, I'm using my lipstick stand. My camera is currently being propped up by 2 NYX and 1 L'Oreal lipstick. Lovely. Today I'm adjudicating a very special comp, very special to me. I'm adjudicating at the CSTD Melbourne comp. We used to call it Commonwealth comps. CSTD is Commonwealth Society of Teachers of Dancing, and this used to be the biggest comp of the year. Well, one of the biggest comps of the year for the school that I used to compete with, and yeah, it's just kind of a, it sounds really daggy, but it feels like a very full circle kind of event for me, because I used to compete at this exact comp and it was a big deal comp for us, and now I'll be the adjudicator there, which is really exciting. I think, excuse me, I'm going to put my lashes on, my glue's dried. I know Michelle Slater, Performing Arts, do this comp still, so that's going to be interesting. I have adjudicated some of Michelle's students before. Yeah. So kind of nervous, not gonna lie, very nervous. I'll just use this as my, what is going on with that light. A little bit tired today, must admit. I spent the entire day yesterday at Queer Expo Melbourne. I was doing their social media, which was amazing and so much fun. And yeah, I just got to roam around the event and got pretty much full access and got to just document the whole thing for social media, for their Instagram and Facebook account. It was so much fun. My little Bubba Charlie kind of stole the show. He was just an absolute delight and just loved everyone and everything there. Yeah, so it was a full-on day though. Kiara was helping me parent the kids. Mark was a PA for Vivacious, fabulous artist, and such an important artist in the drag scene. Yeah, so it was the whole family there. Indy sat in the green room and watched Iron Man for most of the day, as he did, whilst the competitors for the Queer Expo crown, they had a big pageant crown, and Indy just sat in the change room while they all got changed and got ready, and he just sat there like it was nothing, because he's a studio kid, he's used to it. And yeah, it was such a great day, but I'm tired. We also had some really bad news yesterday. During the convention, we found out that little Wharfie, one of my old housemates, Juanita, she's only just recently moved out, her little puppy, Wharf, died yesterday. It was really sad. It still is really sad. He was the first dog that we had, really, because when she came to live here, he came to live here. He's her little baby and she's hurting big time, and yeah, it's really sad. So yesterday was a very confusing, emotional day, and today I get to go and do what I love, so I'm grateful for that, definitely. I'm also grateful for the fact that I'm only doing one session today. I'm just doing the morning session. Yeah, I think after yesterday, with the convention and with, oh, excuse me, put my eye cream on, and with Wolf's passing, I just, yeah, need a bit of a slightly easy day would be good. Yeah, so it's in Darebin. It's Darebin Arts Centre. It's a beautiful venue, and it's not far for me, so it's not going to be a tricky one to get to. Coffee in my friend's mug. Alright, so we are in the car. We are on our way. It took me ages to get moving because the car was almost completely frozen. It is 3 degrees here in Melbourne, and my camera's just fallen out of the cradle. Well, that didn't work. Yeah, it's 3 degrees. The camera is now in a very unstable position, but we won't worry about that. I'm actually really nervous now. Yeah, I'm really nervous. It's one of those times where, look, I've been adjudicating for about 6 years now. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm good at this job. But when you know that there's there's people who talk.
In 500 metres, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Bullman's Road.
Thank you, GPS lady. It's just, there's that mindset when you're a student. And it's hard to get out of that. Especially when your teachers are around. And I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I'm feeling. And I feel like one of the things I like to do as an adjudicator is acknowledge the teachers and what they're doing and give them...
In 200 metres, at the roundabout, take the first exit onto High Street.
Not in a condescending way, like just in a, look, maybe look at it from this point of view, or maybe this will help you do your job better. And I don't know, I think I'm pretty good at that, but it's hard to imagine doing that with not only my old teacher, but the teachers of the schools and the students that would...
In 400 metres, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on High Street.
Far out. I think I just need to stop over-analysing it. That's my life motto, just stop over-analysing it, Claire. I also find it hard in comps like this where I'm not the main adjudicator, where I'm not the only adjudicator, or I'm only doing one session. It's hard to get my brand across, and I do see it as a brand. This is my job. This is adjudicating and Dance Geek. That's my work. That's my job. And it's hard to get that across in one session. Because I can be very big. So I don't, in one session, if I just come out on the first session and be like, yeah, you guys are great, that's amazing. People are like, whoa, dude, calm down, especially a morning session. Like, it's Monday morning, for crying out loud. All right, this is where the camera is going to go. It is a bad angle, but we're dealing with it. Because I'm driving and I moved that at the light. So here we go, you got this little bit of move. Yeah, I don't know. It's a freezing cold morning, the heater's pumping, and this is probably all going to be useless footage anyway, so...
Very quick word to the audience. In these lyrical sections, you can see these kids are putting literally their heart and soul on the stage, and adjudicators can't go up to every one of them and tell them that we saw them and we thought they were fabulous, because if they don't place, they tend to think, oh, well, she didn't care what I was doing, and I do. So that's where you guys come in. There is a decent amount of people here, I hope. And if you were sitting there and doing what my mum and I used to do and do your own adjudication, and if you don't agree with my adjudication, please go tell that person that in your eyes, they came first, because the artistry is what helps these kids connect. And if you've got the time in between changing your own kids and all the other stuff that goes on, please find that kid, especially if you don't know them, or find their teacher or whoever, and tell them how much their performance meant to you, because I have to look at the whole package and all the little details, and you guys don't have to do that. So just go be an audience member and tell them that they were beautiful and they connected with you, because that is so important. And that's what these kids are going to remember when they're 37 and can't dance anymore, because their hips are all out of whack like mine. That's what they'll remember, not the trophies. I guarantee it. Okay, so please do that for me at every comp you go to. All right, I'm going to get my notes in order. All right, I've got 4 honourable mentions in this section. They go to competitors 2, 6, 8 and 11. Third place to a very consistent performance and just beautiful energy on the stage, competitor number 1. Second place to competitor number 15. And first place, just everything came together in this piece. Was beautiful. Congratulations, number 5.
So I just had a car accident. Yeah, drama. The car's okay. The other car didn't have any damage, so I took photos. Always take photos. Never just take their word for it. I took photos. There was no damage. He drove away. I'm driving Kiara's car though, and her car has a little bit of like just bumper damage or something on the back. It was completely my fault. I did a head check to the left, but didn't see the car there. Heart is still fluttering a bit. I start in 20 minutes, so I've got to get my zen back. And it was just as I was coming into the theatre. Like, I'm so glad it wasn't one of the competitors or parents, because could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh my God, the adjudicator ran into me. Oh my God. But it wasn't. It wasn't. No one was hurt. There was no one else in either car. So, yeah, I feel so stupid. So this is normally just a big ballroom type space, isn't it? Yeah. And they've brought in. They've just they've brought in a stage with wings and everything. And chairs for the audience. This is what you call utilising space. Yep. So my boys are playing in the background, and clearly something's happened to upset Charlie.
No, his shirt has gone down.
His shirt has gone down.
His onesie.
Just give me a second. Okay, Christ is the birded. It was just that the zipper on his onesie was down a little bit, and he had a bit of a freak out. Get over it, dude. Okay. So this is my last session today, or it will be, at CSTD. And I thought, I haven't done this in my... Why am I taking my hair out? It's going to do this weird thing, but, you know. I haven't done this in any of my adjudicator vlogs yet, but majority of places that you work at as an adjudicator, you send them an invoice to get paid, because, yes, adjudicators get paid. We sit there for a very long time, put in very detailed work, and we have also... Adjudicators get hired for their experience and their... qualifications, not qualifications as an adjudicator, but, you know, years and years and years of training and work in the industry, and that is factored into the pay. So I'm not going to actually tell you the pay rate, but it's good. I'm happy with it, very happy with it. Yeah, so we send an invoice. Now, I obviously, oh God, my desk is such a mess at the moment. And I've got costumes all behind me, and yeah, it's a mess. But there is my computer. Okay, so I have an invoice template, which I will pop up here. Yeah, it's really good. You customize it to your own branding and to your own needs, and then I use that template to put my invoices in, basically. Invoicing tip, whether it's adjudicating or anything like that, if you are doing something at a reduced rate, so even if it's something like a mate's rate kind of thing, or even if you're doing it for free, still give them an invoice and let them know what you're worth. Yeah, so for example, if your regular rate is $100 an hour, but the event that you're being hired for, or whoever's hiring you, can only pay $70 an hour, then make sure on your invoice you put the hours down as $100 an hour, and then work out a discount so they see how much they're saving and how much you are actually worth. It's so that, so it's really important that people know what you're worth, so that then in the future you're not always going to get tied into that rate. It also means if they recommend you to other people, which is how you'll get a lot of work as a freelance anything really, through recommendations, they're not going to be able to, they're not going to say to someone, oh yeah, she was really cheap, she's like $70, it was easy. You want to be like, well, no, that was a discounted rate and it's on the invoice. It's like a sale item at the shops. It's like, oh, get it on sale, but you normally would pay this much for it. That's my recommendation. Adjudicators generally get paid per session. So if you're there for the morning session, you get paid a set figure for that session. However, some comps, I haven't really run into this very often, but some comps overschedule, and they think that their schedule is going to be 3 hours. And you look at it and you're like, that's not a 3-hour session, that's a 4-hour session. Most of the time the rate per session is based on 3 to 4 hours work. If it goes beyond that, then you generally are within your rights to charge an hourly rate on top of that. But make sure you negotiate all of that beforehand, because if you haven't, then it can be a bit uncomfortable and whatever. But anything under the 3 hours, it's still a session. It's a flat rate session. Most of the time. Some comps I've been at some comps I've worked for do an hourly rate instead of the session rate. And if that's the case, they will record how many hours you work, but make sure you do a record of it yourself. Another reason why me working in a spreadsheet helps a lot with that, because I can quite easily jot down the time in there, but you can do it in your notebook as well. Speaking of notebooks, I had to revert to pen and paper last night, and I'm so sorry to my penciler Maria, who had to try and read my horrible writing for the places and things like that. My bad handwriting is one of the reasons I don't use a pen and paper. I just also find it more accurate on the spreadsheet. It forces me to be a bit more focused. So I'm going to go and finish my invoice, send it off to the lovely Cindy, do my last session tonight. I'm in the second theatre, which I have already added some footage in about. I was in there last night. Love that they've got the 2 theatres. It's such a great idea. I expect that it's probably quite expensive for them to set up that theatre, but it's a great idea, and it means that they can take in more entries. This venue that they're at allows for it because they have the space. It's a very safe stage that they've put in. A lot of portable stages are not safe for dancers. This one is. It's a really good stage. I've got to find out where they got it from. I've got to find out the supplier, because it's a good stage. Clearly I am not ready for the day. It's just gone 9 o'clock, so it's early. Okay, so just finishing up my invoice. My last little adjudicator tip is another sort of tip for any kind of anytime you're doing an invoice, or really any document that you're going to email to somebody else, save it as a PDF and send the PDF, because then it can't be changed once it is received by the other person. But it also means that any of the formatting that you've done, like if you've got a font that you particularly like, anything like that, it won't change. The PDF saves it as like a picture of that thing, and it just loads the picture. And pretty much everyone has a PDF reader now, so it's easy. There you go. Geeky computer tip from Claire.